Hello, No Sevens here at No Sevens Dice Club. I hope everybody is doing well. Today we are going to talk about the 5-3 dice set revisited. And at the time I did that video, I liked the 5-3 top set. And that was on my travel table right after Hurricane Zeta destroyed my craps table that I built. And so the video is probably not the best. And so I wanted to come back and revisit that top set video, the 5-3. But I've been using it on and off, and I'm starting to find that I like a different top set that works better, that's a little bit more forgiving. And so I want to bring that one. So it's not the 5-3, but it's the 5-6 top set. And I've been using that for about past year and a half, 2 years roughly, and it's done me just probably, if not better, than the 5-3. And I feel like I'm doing you guys a better service by giving you, I think, a better dice set to practice with and to use at the casino. It's the ones I've been using for the previous videos with that 45 monster roll, I think it was, that I did, the last video. I feel that the 5-6 is a better, has better longevity than the 5-3. And the thing about the 5-6 and any of the top sets that I give you is it's not so much about the monster roll. It's about something that gives you something continuously. It gives you about 4 or 5 steady rolls, and you can get in and out, play the short game really fast. The thing with this is that you're either going to have a great roll, you're going to be rolling into the 20s to 30s, or you're going to be rolling into the 3s or the 4s, and you're going to 7 right out. There is not a lot of middle ground. It's going to be monster roll, short roll. No middle ground really with the top set of the 5-6, or even the 5-3. But the thing about the 5-6 is that it works really well on hard surfaces like this, or on a semi-bouncy table. Now, on a semi-bouncy table, if it leans more semi-bouncy, then the dice set of the 5-6, the 5-3, the 5-6 is going to struggle. You're going to hit a lot more 7s. Your rolls are going to be a lot shorter. So for that, I recommend probably like a cross 6 that I came out with in October. Now, if it's a hard surface table, the 5-6 is a great dice set. And I'm going to explain to you how I hold it. I've been practicing on my holds for a while before I started playing this at the casino. And it's really just pretty simple. The only thing you're going to do is that you're just going to line up the 5-6 like this. It doesn't matter what the numbers are, because it could be anything. You're just going to grab that. This is going to be here. As long as you have the 5 and the 6 on the top, that's all you're looking for. Now when you grab the dice, the grip is that you want your thumb to be right here in the middle. Okay, you want it to be right here. And you want your fingers so that way you can see the dots right here. You want it to be right in the middle. You don't want to grab the dice and you don't want to be all the way on the floor and you have the whole thing covered. Because what you're going to do is you're going to give it way too much energy or too much spin, and so when you release it, it's too much. Now, if you grab it at the very tippy top, you're going to get a lot of backspin, and it's going to be rotating in air. You're going to see the rotations. You don't want that. You want the middle right here. You want your fingers, the split of your fingers at the split of the die. So right here, you want them to be split. So that way when you grab it, it's like this. Now, one thing I'm getting a lot of comments on is about the 5-3, and, well, the comments are going to be about the 5-6, is these two fingers do everything. It's not these. It's these two. Because, watch, I can grab the dice set like this, and I can release it. That's all you're doing. Your thumb is going to be your motor. Your fingers right here are going to be the holders. These are just going to be the guiders. So when you grab it, and it all comes together at a team. So when you grab it, it's like this. and you're just releasing. You're just giving it a simple push with your thumb. Okay? That's all you're doing. You're not sitting here, you're not trying to ram it down the table. Your runway is the cone line area. So when you have it, it's going to be just the runway of this, the cone. And it's usually wide open for you the whole entire way. That's the reason why I like the end of the table, and I like to be right here with it. Because nobody places comes bets, you know, it's very rare. Now, when you grab it, you don't want a high arc. You're not trying to shoot this thing up into the moon. What you're trying to do is you're just literally trying to push it. You're trying to push it downfield. And you're not trying to push it like this. You're trying to just simply push it with just enough energy to get down the field. You're not trying to throw it, and you're not trying to slam it against this back wall and then let it just explode all over the table. You want your landing zone. Let me see if this is in camera view. Yep, it sure is. So, all right, we're at the other end of the table pretty much, if you want to say that. Your other end of the table, you want your landing zone, and this is where you're going to figure out where you want to be at. Normally, I like to start here, right here. And I like to land, and then I like for them to land and bounce, hit the back wall, and then come right back down. Or land and kind of just roll and die at right here at the back end. I don't want hit the wall, slam into this, and then go straight into a corner, because that's going to equal a 7. You don't want this dice set to go into the corners. That's when you're holding your breath. So you want it just to be enough energy, and this is going to take you some practice. This is going to be a pretty hard dice set to master as far as the landing zone goes. As far as it being on and off axis, that's not going to be a problem. It's a pretty forgiving dice set for that. The main thing is that you just want to find that sweet spot for that landing zone. Now, the reason why I have a pass line bet and an odds bet is because when you're at a 14-foot table, especially like one in Harrah's in New Orleans, they use the 12-foot felt, okay? And so they don't have, I don't know why they have a 12-foot felt, because all their tables are 14 except for one. That the pass line is up here. And so what I try to do is I try to give myself a marker. So my chip is my marker, so that way I know where I want to put the dice pretty much every single time. I want to be right next to the side. But for me, the pass line's up here. So I'll put an odds bet, and I'll put it back here kind of, because this is the line. I'll kind of put it back here, and I don't even like it that far up, you know, but it gives me a kind of a roll gauge. And what I'll do is I'll sit there and I'll put it there, and then I'll grab it and I'll bring it back, and then I'll adjust myself so that way I'm ready to throw, and then I'll reposition my fingers on the dice, and knowing that I'm lined up. And then what I'll do is I'll release it from there. Now, you do get some pit bosses and some stick people who will fuss at you and say you're taking your time, you're going too slow, whatever. Just ignore them. You know, you're shooting at your own speed, and you got to make sure that you're comfortable with what you want to do. So that's just a little trick that I picked up. You know, I'll put the odds back here. I'll line it up on the 14-foot table if the pass line's not right here, the pass line's up here. And then I'll just bring it back, adjust myself, grab the dice, and then I'll release. And I'm not arcing the dice. I'm sitting here, I'm just releasing. And that was way too hard, but it's okay. Because it is forgiving as I trip over my mic cable. So that was a 6, 3, 9. So one of them was on axis. The 6 was. It was exactly how we threw it. And the 5 came off, but that was also on axis because watch, there's the 5. Okay? And it doesn't matter. I get lots of comments. I have people who I talk to almost every single day about no 7s. I'm trying to be the perfect on axis thrower. I've interviewed quite a few people in my life doing the YouTube channel, some great throwers, great shooters at the casino, and I sat down with them, I talked to them, and I said, man, do you always have to be on axis? And he goes, no. He goes, I'm one of the worst shooters for on axis, but I have a dice set that works for me for being off axis. And he goes, the Dominator is really good, and he promotes his videos and he tries to get you to throw like him, but it's an on axis throw. It's the reason why it's so difficult to throw, because it's a hard way set. It's this set, you know, you're sitting there, you're throwing the hard ways, and it's got to be, you know, perfect. And I've tried that throw for almost 8 months, and I've pretty much almost got it mastered. Who am I kidding? I don't have it mastered at all. And it's a very, very difficult throw. I mean, everything's got to be perfect. With the top set that I'm throwing you, the 5-6, it can be a mistake. You can throw it off and everything else. Now, what you don't want to do is when you're releasing the dice, you don't want your wrist to twist. Because if your wrist twists in any direction, it's going to go into these corners, and you're probably going to get a 7. You want it to be right down the area. You don't want it to hit the 10 box. You don't want to hit the DC box. You want it to be right down the middle in the landing zone. And if you notice that it's not hitting the back wall, you need to walk it up. Or if it's hitting too hard, walk it back. Start aiming for it for the E. No, on this side it's going to be the C, but you want to be on the E side. You want to be closer to this, okay? So let's go ahead. Let's do a couple passes. And let's do it. Now, for my hand, if you ever notice, let's see if it's in view. Yeah, you can kind of see it. My hand is always going to be here. I have a strong grip on this table. No matter what happens, it's kind of like being on a boat. One hand for the boat and one hand for you, exactly for the craps table. My hand is always here. You're going to say, no, Sevens, what happens if you have a guy that's standing here on the hook? You just ask him, hey, look, I'm getting ready to shoot. Do you mind moving your chips real quick? Can I put my hand here while I shoot? And 9 times out of 10, they're going to say yes. You're going to get that one jerk. You're going to be like, oh, hell no, you ain't taking my chips. You ain't blah, blah, blah. And you know, whatever, dude. I'm just trying to shoot the dice, but that's all right. But I always put my hand here. And if I can't put it here, I try to put it here, but it just doesn't feel right. I like to have it here. And normally they're going to move their chips because they're trying to make money just like you. So my hand is always here, resting into this. So that way I'm bracing. My left leg is right up against the table for support. So everything I'm doing is straight forward. And then we're going to release. And it goes right to the table, the end of the table. And let's see what number we got. So I can't see in the shadows. All right, so we have the 2, 2, the hard 4. If you remember in the past couple of videos, that was almost like the signature number. So there's the 2, 2, there is the hard 4. And one thing you will notice with this dice set is that you're going to get a lot of hard ways with this. I went to the casino at the Beau Rivage, and I was killing the hard ways. I mean, just murdering the hard ways. And the dealer was like, man, I've been a dealer for 20 years. I've never seen these many hard ways being thrown in a single session. He's like, this is crazy. It does happen from time to time. It's not going to happen all the time, but it definitely does happen. All right, so here we go. We're only going here, right? Here. I'm going to show you the video one more time. I'm going to go there, comes to the end, and that was short right into the corner. And you know what happens when you go right into the corner, right? What did I tell you? What happens? You throw short and it goes right into that corner, and that's the number you're going to end up with. So I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to show you this release a little bit better. And if you notice, it's daylight. How rare is it for me to do a video during the day nowadays with my busy schedule? I had some extra time today. Everything canceled for me on the end, and I was able to have some free time. All right, so we're going to do a couple videos of me releasing. So we're going to go here. Actually, you know what? Here, let's do this, because we're not worried about what the numbers are. I just want to show you the release. So let's get some more dice over here. All right. So what we're doing is we're doing the release. All right, 6, 3, 9. I'll try to use as much red as I can. There's the 6. There's the 5. And it doesn't matter. I mean, you can turn them. It could be either way, however you want to do it. The main thing is that you have the 5, 6, and then you want to come here, grab, and release. That was a little too hard. That was the 5-6 yo. That was perfect. The 6-5 yo again. What did I tell you in that previous video? Man, I wish I was playing on the crapless table, because the 11 is my number. Now you know why the 11 is my number, because of the 6-5 dice set. You know, it comes back and it lands usually on the 6-5, and that's the reason why I always put a black chip on a crapless table and on the 11. That was a little too hard. That was a 6-1-7. That was way too hard. A little bit softer. Like that. The 6-3-9. I'm about ready to walk you down there. I just wanted to give you guys kind of a glimpse of the throw. That was way too high of an arc, and that was a 6-1-7. You can see when you make a mistake, it's going to let you know that you're making a mistake. You're going to throw it too high or too much energy, it's going to 7 out on you. That was a 6-4-10. You notice you're starting to see a pattern here. You're starting to hear that 6. Oh geez, that was horrible. The 3-4-7, that hit chips, that hit dice, that hit everything down there. God almighty, that was, oh, whew. That's perfect. That's what you want. That's the 5-1-6. Now I'm trying to avoid dice. That's the 5-4-9. That's a really rare 9 combo that you're going to get. Usually you hit the 6-3-9 the majority of the time. A 5-4-9 doesn't come around that often. All right, so here we go. Perfect. That is the 5-4-9 again. All right, whatever. You guys just want to show out now, I guess. You know, just make most sevens look like he doesn't know what he's talking about. All right, the 6-4-10. I'm running out of room down there, so I'm just going to walk you down there, and that way you guys can see it. But hopefully you guys get to see the arm angle and the release of how it was working. And so all right, so as you can see, all the different numbers that we have over here, you know, all the 5s and all the 6s and everything else. You can kind of gauge where we're at, you know. A couple of ones where the 6-1 happened, but a majority of them are the 6-5 yos, like this right here, you know, and stuff like that. Another 6-5 yo right there, another 6-5 yo right there, a 6-4-10. So as you can see, you know, the uptown numbers are your go-tos for the 5-6, and you can switch this around. You can put this as a 5-1 and maybe start hitting some more downtown numbers. But what I'm just trying to introduce to you is the 5-6. I think is a better dice set, top set than the 5-3. I'm going to give you guys a landing zone over here, and I'm going to show you the landing zone and where and how the dice are and everything else. So hopefully I can do you some justice and see how we do on a landing. Let me move these dice out the way. Let me get some red ones. All right. 5-6 dice set. See how it goes in that corner? That's what you don't want, but that is a hard 8. You don't want that corner. You want them to be straight on. Like that. Oh, get out that corner. That's a 5-2-7. See, that's what you're trying to prevent. You don't want them to go into that dice set. So what, into that corner, because this dice set is going to give you that 7. So what you want it to do is you want it to give it a little bit less energy. So it's telling me that I'm throwing way too hard and I need to come a little bit less energy. So let's try less energy, more into the table. More into, just ease it into the back wall. Like that. A 6-4-10. less energy. When you throw too much energy, the 6-5 VO. When you throw it with too much energy, that's what's going to happen. It's going to have that 7. You want less energy going into that wall. You want your energy to die right there. But you are going to get a lot of high numbers. Get out that horn. That's the 4-2-6. Survived on that one. I don't like it. I like the dice to just go in and die. That's the 5-5. That's the hard 10. As you notice, we are going to hit a lot of 9s, 10s, and yos with this dice set. So, I'll bring that into view for you guys. That was the 5-5. Now it's the 6-4. Now it's the hard 8. Whatever. I'm not going to fight it. It doesn't want to cooperate. That was the 5-5, the hard 10. So, as you can see, the landing zone. It's going to take you some time to perfect this throw. It's not going to be an overnight success. Like I said, I've been working on it for about 2 years now, roughly, off and on. It's just the main thing is the landing zone is the hardest part. There's a 6-3-9. Like that. That's perfect. That's what you want. That was the ideal landing spot right there. The 3-1-4. The 3-1-4. We hit a low number. And we hit a high number up here. There's the 3. And then there's the 6 right there. You notice how you always had that 3, huh? So, and a 6. Because with that number, there's the 5. And you notice that the 5 is right there. The 5 is right there. It's not far behind. So I hope this is helping you guys learn a different dice set. I'm always here to try to give you guys a different tool in your toolbox when you're at the casino. And like I said, it doesn't work for the bouncy tables, but it definitely works for a hard and a semi-bouncy table. Oh God, that was way too hard. The 3-1-4. And like I said, it's pretty forgiving sometimes when you're talking the 6-3-9. Now you understand why in my videos, oh, that was the 2. I'm sorry, that was the 2. And you notice in the videos why I always like the 9. I hit more 9s than anything else. Well, now you guys know why. There's the secret. You guys finally get the secret. The 6-3-9. It's the reason why there's usually a green chip, a $50 chip, or $75 on that 9. Hammering it home. That was the 3, I believe. See, that's what you're looking for. Less energy. Oh my God. 5-1-6. As you can see, it's pretty forgiving, and we can rack up some serious numbers on here. But I think you guys get the gist of it. I don't want to hold you guys in this classroom forever, but as you guys can see, the landing zone is that you pretty much want it to land and then hit the wall and come back. And if you can do that, you're on your way to a pretty good roll. When it goes over here and comes over here in this corner, yeah, that's where you're holding your breath, and that's where you're looking at about an 80% chance of a 7 coming out. And that's what you don't want. We're going to do 2 more rolls, and just comment below if you guys have any questions. Like I said, this is good for if you're an on-axis and off-axis thrower, and it's a pretty forgiving dice set. It is the 5-6 top set. As long as you have a 5 and a 6 on the top, it doesn't matter what the numbers are on the side. Was that the 3 again? Go down there, I'll look at it in a second. And the 4-2-6. And like I said, the only thing you need is just a couple of numbers, and you win your game. I mean, there's the 3 again. you're playing at a crapless table, you have a 25 on that 3. That's $75 for you right there. And there's one of your most common numbers is the 6. So guys, I hope this helps you out. Let me know if there's anything else I can help you with. So the 5-3 has now graduated to the 5-6, and I hope you guys are having lots of success at the casino. And No Sevens will talk to you on the next video. I'll see you on the flip side.